Hey, Mike. Good afternoon. It's Paul. I want to thank you for hosting the call and for everybody on the line this week. I'm happy to say that this has been getting considerably bigger here in the past month or two. So I really wanted to take to heart what the main suggestion was, or at least what I could get as a main suggestion from people. And the majority rules here, and I think the majority has dictated that what they would like to hear about is how they can sell more cars today. And, everybody wants the magic bullet. And unfortunately, we all know that's not out there. We've looked for it. But what I can tell you is that for the most part, anybody that wants to push their business forward, there's a real simple answer to it. Most everyone today has a CRM or mines their own database. But, they have to it. And I've been part of this for many years, and we think we're working our database, but we're really not working it in measurable ways. So the number one suggestion I have for dealers everywhere I go into, no matter what the market is, let's take a look in your database first. And what's important about the database is, and there's a lot of mining tools out there that you can use, built within the CRMs and outside companies that will do it. Pick people that have had the car and made at least 18 payments and have no less than 8 payments left. You don't want less than 8 payments because they can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's pretty bright when you get that close. My car is going to be paid off. I have a major amount of equity in it. So those folks are going to probably choose to hold on. If you get 8 payments or more left, that's far enough away that the equity proposition is attractive, and they're used to making payments. So the light at the end of the tunnel isn't as bright. So when you do go in, do your data search, mine the database. That's step number 1, is picking the right list. Step number 2 is you have to have a clearly defined process to measure the results. And I recommend to dealers, even in small markets, even in places where they really believe, well, we know our own customers. Well, that's great. I see them around town. That's great. What do you have to do to sell them a car today? You can't wait for these people. You have to go out and get them. You've got to give them a compelling reason to buy a car, call to action. So first step, get a script. Then once you've got a script down that you want them to use, people don't like using scripts. Because you know who uses scripts? Burger King and McDonald's, they use scripts. Hi, welcome to McDonald's. Can I supersize that for you today? Would you like to make it a large for $1 more? They have a script. You know what their scripts do? Their scripts produce results. We don't have scripts. We have, in most cases, no idea what our people are saying, really. Oh, we think we know. They tell us what they said, but we have no measurable way to determine what they really said. So, you run your database list and make sure it's a strong list, because if you do have your own people do it, you're going to run them into frustration and they're going to give up too easily. Secondly, get a script together. You got to have what you want said consistently, and you got to measure the results. We tend to, I called 20 people and I got 3 appointments. Oh, that's good. Well, then sometimes we don't follow up if the 3 showed up. And if we only got 20 appointments, why did we only get 20? If you write the script and make sure you have people there, managers following up, and a great strategy for follow-up to see that your people are doing what they're supposed to do is to have a manager call and say, you know what, I understand that you talked to Jeremy from our store yesterday or a couple days ago. Is that right? No, I didn't hear from anybody. Aha. Maybe Jeremy's not doing what he's supposed to do. So what do I want to do? I just want to get to the truth. I want to find out if they spoke to him. And if they did, great, I'm glad you heard from him. Hey, what we didn't have in place when he called you, and the reason for my call today is we're having a 1095 oil change special. And I wanted to offer that to you and book your appointment for you anytime within the next month. Now, it's a good purpose for a call. You're giving them the opportunity to utilize your dealership for a service again, which we know the retention goes up dramatically if you get them in for service. And then lastly, it gives you that ability in a very smooth way to see if your people are doing what they're supposed to do. So you're going to want to make use of that for absolute certain. And then my last suggestion is either hire someone outside to do it rather than your own people. One, we know most of our people, if you've ever heard them recorded, most people in this industry are not really good on the phone. And secondly, even some of the ones that are good, if they meet with any resistance, they give up calling pretty easily. If you hire an outside company, I don't recommend any. I can give you names of some if you need them. But I don't recommend any specifically, but I would recommend highly hiring someone outside to do it because it becomes a transparent process. You can have those people do this work for you. The calls are recorded, so you can spot check anything. They make the appointments and they notify you that the appointments are made. So you can put your head on the pillow and know that it's getting done at night. But if you don't want to have them do it, again, last thing I've got for you today is if you want to sell cars today, get a quality list. Make sure they're in an equity position, but make sure they have time left to pay. Get a script together. Have a few variables on it. Keep it short. Keep it to the point. We're looking for vehicles like yours, our used car department, before we go out and spend the money at auctions or buying rental cars, which is what we do to replenish our used car supply. We would rather buy cars that have been serviced here that we have the full service history on. And by the way, they're worth more money. So if you'd like to come in and have us look at your vehicle, we'll also let you know what vehicle you could replace it with and keep your payment the same or very close to the same payment. In some cases, it's even less. So we'd like to look at what you have. Could you bring it in? Follow-up call, offer them an oil change special. Only schedule 2 of those a day. Give them numbers at that time when they come in. You're going to create more floor traffic for yourself. And we all know that these customers are going to fit in a couple categories guaranteed. Number one, they're a higher closing percentage. So, of course, we want that. Number two, they're a higher gross profit margin on average. They know who you are, where you are, and what you sell. And three, and this has really become very important, you have a great idea of what their vehicle is worth and what work needs to be done if they have any service history with you. So the value on the car is going to be better. It's going to be more predictable what you're going to be able to retail price resell that car for. And you're going to have a higher retention of your customers. So I'd like to thank you all for checking in with me this week. I will take the suggestions and boil it down next week, but this week's clear-cut winner was people who like long-term planning and they like management and leadership training and information, but they really want to learn what's going to sell them cars right now. So I thank you very much all for joining me, and to you, Mike, for hosting the call as always. He manages to edit this, and God bless him for that. Thank you again for listening in, and I look forward to talking to you next week. I hope you all have a great day and pile up some sales. Bye-bye.